All right, we'll be starting soon here. I'm going to give it a little countdown timer. Actually, no, we don't need a countdown timer. Just going to pull up YouTube just to see if it actually pulls up. It's been several months. Actually, I think it's been almost into last year since last time I streamed. So all my settings might be jacked up. We'll see. Let me know in chat. I got chat pulled up, so I got that going for me. All right. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, this is just a starting soon screen, man. Don't worry, we're changing the camera angle. I ain't gonna talk to you with a little bird's eye the whole time. This is actually a hacked camera using RTSP, all wireless. So this is a just a fun little starting screen just before I make sure everything looks good, sounds good, all that good jazz. I think that's pretty solid. Thanks, Open Source Slayer, man. I see. How's your channel doing? It's been a little bit since I checked up on you. If you guys haven't, Open Source Slayer, I actually met at Micro Center when I was picking up my AMD. All right, let's see here. AMD chip, back when you could get those. All right, let's do this. Let's come on over to chat. See how that is. Oh, yeah, I missed some stuff here. It's been a little bit since my last one. Give me a second on the chat. We're also going to be doing a second stream later today, probably around 4. So we have that. Let's see here. I think no, that's right. YouTube chat's all funky. That's all right. I'll figure out a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, crazy. Totally bizarre. I never anticipated 300K would watch something like me. I was just doing my thing, man. It's so wild. So wild. What's my favorite window manager? Awesome window manager by far, mainly because of how good I can make it look. However, I do have an upcoming video I've been working on, and I'm going to be using Qtile with some custom mods. I think it's the Gnome or Jerome. I can't remember it, but it's one of the coolest or highest rated interfaces on Unix porn, which is amazing. Oh, I can't say that out loud. That's right. I got demonetized last time I said that subreddit. Unix PORN. Favorite desktop environment KDE. KDE is totally it. I mean, that's not really that surprising coming from Windows. Do you know something about Windows 10 tweaker? I don't know it right offhand. Is it true NVIDIA family made their drivers open source? Yeah, that's false. NVIDIA can't make their drivers open source. That's why AMD did it. There's so many. I think they pay royalties and some other things in the back end. So there's no way for NVIDIA to ever open source their drivers, at least from my knowledge. On which altcoins. So yeah, when it comes to crypto, just remember whenever you have any coins that go way up, they can also go way down. So it's a major gamble. It's like buying penny stocks in the stock market. So don't ever think anything's a sure thing. That'll get you into a lot of trouble. Thanks for the super chat, David. Oh man, it's good. David's been with me since the very beginning. Him and Don were one of the very first patrons I ever had back in January 2019. David was actually the very first patron I ever had. It's kind of cool to see people hang with me that long. I can't believe you hadn't gotten bored of me yet. Oh man, 300K is just nuts. Like the fact we have people watching, that many people watching me, that's surreal. I honestly don't really believe it. So I've only got approached like in real life maybe a couple times. But then again, COVID, all that stuff going on, I haven't really gone out. I'm kind of an introvert. Question: how hard is it to work in an IT department? Is it really that demanding? IT careers are really kind of something interesting. I probably should touch on it a little more on the channel, but yeah, IT careers are very demanding. Depends on what you're doing. If you're doing contract work, it's extremely demanding. You're going to be working lots of late nights and weekends, mainly because you want to do your work when users are offline. Probably the most demanding I've ever had was I stayed up for about 3 days straight, about full 72 hours. And I pretty much lived at a data center for 2 weeks. There was a major crash and I had to rebuild roughly 30 Windows servers. And I had about 2,000 something users trying to get into a Citrix farm I had to rebuild. And I had to do all that in a very short period of time as that company was losing literally thousands of dollars every single minute that those servers were up. So that's a little bit of pressure. Would you say that's demanding? I sure as hell would. But yes, that's totally. Oh, OnlyFans. I was laughing on Linus's OnlyFans thing. He's now a top 1% OnlyFans creator. That's so great. I love that. Off topic. Did you have any children like Network Chucks? Oh yeah. I got a son that's about to turn 18 and a daughter about to turn 10. So, yeah, I have several kids, and yeah, I've kind of got started early, so it's nice. I try to shave mainly because I look like an old man when I grow out it's like just all white now. My beard is. Oh no, I'm not copying Linus. I'm not making that. Forget it, man. Uh, I even killed my Patreon. Mainly, I just do what's on my website, christitus.com, and that's it. Yeah. So the crypto space, I keep seeing the altcoin thing pop up. I hate crypto spaces. I hate most crypto creators on YouTube. Um, the biggest thing with crypto is there's so many scams. Anytime I make a video, I am sitting there constantly working on monitoring the comments as people copy my username and paste it in there trying to scam people on like WhatsApp and stuff. And I try every single combination. I've banned like numbers in comments. I've done all kinds of stuff to try and cut down on that because it's so predatory. As much as I love crypto, I hate the community. And the hype train behind altcoins and all this other stuff, it's all speculative. Just remember that. There's no value in any of it. Right now, you can make some money in it, maybe, but remember, it's like going to the casino. And as long as you understand that, that's fine. But I want to preface it with that, as many people always just spout a lot of bullshit. And that's not cool. That's why I make a lot of the crypto videos, and that's why I'm so harsh on it, because I have to be, because no one else is. And I really hate it. So no, there is no good altcoin I'd recommend that I think will moon that you can buy a Lambo with. And yeah, that's it. I'd still be making some crypto videos here and there, but that's I want to be more of a voice of reason than just another hype artist. Hit the like button. Smash the like button. Destroy it. It's funny. I'm curious to see what happens with the whole like button dislike thing with YouTube. That's one thing. I don't know how YouTube will implement that. I really hope they don't take away the dislike button, though. I really like to know when people hate a video that I do. I think I've said it in the past, but it's been a while, so I'll go ahead and reiterate it. I I thrive on negativity in some instances. It drives me. The worst way to sabotage me is just be like, "Hey, you're doing a great job." That's probably why I do so well on YouTube, because a lot of times I'll read a comment and some are just trolling and I just, ban. But other times you get a mean comment, but there's an ounce of truth to it and you know it and you're like, "Okay, I need to work on that." And that's a lot of times where I get the growth. But I really hope they don't remove the dislike button. I think dislikes and seeing that is what makes YouTube YouTube, and one of the biggest things I like about it. We could go on for days what I don't like, but let's stay positive. Video on Ventoy. Oh man, Ash, I absolutely have to do a video on Ventoy. I use the crap out of Ventoy. Absolutely love it. Want to use Linux for all privacy benefits and stuff. What's the entry point? What distro should I use that has a very simple interface? That's a good one. Entry Linux one. I always recommend Mint. Linux Mint is a great starting point. Very solid distro. It's not going to break on you, and it just works. It's fantastic. Opinion about open smartwatches. Wearables all kind of suck. I think it's a bit of a fad. Whether it's open source, whether it's closed source, I have a wearable, and it's all just so very lackluster, and it just feels blah. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, when it comes to decentralized smartwatches or DIY smartwatches or regular smartwatches, they're all kind of garbage. However, if you're going to go smartwatch, go with the DIY open source. Learn something, have some fun. I think that'll really honestly be the best solution, because honestly, Android smartwatches really suck. Apple smartwatches are a bit better, but they still kind of suck. And yeah, that's where I'll leave that one. Mint is not under the Ubuntu umbrella. Yes and no, Riggs. They have a Debian spin that's off a pure Debian, but their lead creator, Clem, is a fantastic, just a brilliant, I'll even go as far as to say a genius. But he does a lot of things that, many things I, rib Ubuntu for, prod Ubuntu for, I don't agree with. Clem goes ahead and undoes all that. So when Ubuntu releases a major version, the one version of Linux Mint that is based off of Ubuntu, Clem goes and removes like snaps and other nastiness in Ubuntu. So that's why I love Linux Mint. It's very rock solid. Whether you go with the Debian version or the Ubuntu version, you really just can't go wrong. A decentralized distro of choice. If you're trying to learn Linux, I really love Arch, because it forces you to learn it. Although they are installing it. Did they put an installer on? I think on this last version. Don't use the one with the installer. I think the vanilla, old school Arch is where I learned the most about Linux. I love it. Absolutely love it. What is the best browser that's fast and uses less CPU? Danny, that's a good one. I'm going to say something that I don't know if anybody in chat has ever used. It's not exactly the browser you're going to be browsing the whole internet with, but Midori. Midori is a very, very lightweight browser. It only uses about 50 megs of memory, not the 5 gigs that Chrome or Chromium-based ones use, or Firefox for that matter. I mean, Firefox can be just as egregious. So Midori, check it out. You can't really do a whole lot on it because so many places use like cookies and all this other crap, but I still love that old school feel. It kind of reminds me of like Netscape circa the 90s. Can WSL replace Ubuntu dual boot? Not considering... Yeah, WSL can replace a lot of things. Heck, let me just show you. Let me just show you a little bit here. All right. Here you go. I got a little WSL window here. It's a little Ubuntu instance. And I go ahead and set up all my bash scripting. Just launches right into tmux, so I can do multiplexing right in Windows. And then I can do fish. And then I like to do like term down sometimes. What is it? Oh, let's see. What did I forget what all I had on here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I think I had term down. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I do like little fun little stuff on my WSL whenever I'm using Windows. Right now, today, actually, I'm on Windows. I had something going on earlier this morning, but a fun little deal. I've been watching you for the last 2 months. Thanks for the super chat, John. My question is there an easy way to get the missing drives to easy way to get the missing drives too? Is there an easy way? Misunderstanding the question. Thanks for the second super chat to finish the question. Is there an easy way to get my missing drives to run my internal DVD drive? Which operating system are you on? Not sure. You might have to expand on that one, John. I'm not sure on that question. Can you do videos on Kali Linux? Yeah. The one thing I will say about Linux distros is learn Debian, learn Arch, maybe learn Fedora if you want to do that. But really, those three will tackle like 99% of the distros in existence. And why Kali has all these like baked in kind of cool tools, just a very easy unpack and go and become a hacker. That's what Kali Linux is really known for. But I am not a fan of Kali Linux, mainly because I think it's just kind of bloated. And you can pretty much do all of what it does in a regular Linux distro. You can take an Ubuntu, you can take a Debian and just kind of do your own thing, install Metasploit and go to town. The thing about Kali Linux is it just kind of has it all there for you when you're pen testing and doing security-based things. So, yeah. I may do a video on Kali Linux, but that's really why I haven't really approached it. Because in my eyes, once you hit Debian, you're really just, you get almost every distro. And then you have Arch. Really, Debian and Arch are really the only things I mess with these days. And that pretty much encompasses most of Linux. What's my Linux distro of choice? I'd probably say Arch is my favorite. But I still love Linux Mint. It just depends on what I'm doing. If it's a laptop, I usually rock Linux Mint. Although I'm still using the K-Focus laptop I did a video on, and that's running Kubuntu. So take it with a grain of salt. Thanks for the super chat, Thanos. Love the name. Is there a way for me to persuade my college student friend to use Linux Mint when they want to work with Office? Yeah, so you can use OpenOffice, FreeOffice. I'd say OpenOffice is probably the best choice out of those two. But FreeOffice is another one. Why I recommend those two is because it gives and emulates that Microsoft Office experience. You want to emulate Microsoft Office. LibreOffice, and don't throw tomatoes at me for those hardcore Linux users and open source advocates out there. But at the end of the day, what's the user experience when you install the software? OpenOffice and FreeOffice both give that, emulates almost that one-to-one Microsoft Office experience without having to configure practically anything, which is kind of nice. Where is this month's rice? I'm working on it. I talked a little bit about that, but yay, you know. I'll pull it up over here and show you guys what I'm working on for this month's rice, because it's kind of neat. Your opinion on Microsoft bringing Linux GUI apps to Windows 10 to help WSL2. I mean, I'm all for it. Making WSL2 better is always a good thing. And so many Linux people worry about WSL2, like, hey, they're trying to extinguish Linux. Don't worry about that, guys. It's not a thing. No Linux user is going to be like, ooh, Windows, I'm going to go over there and run WSL2. It's just a nice thing to help developers. Any developer really is going to want to do their own thing. Most developers are definitely going to want a full dedicated Linux box. But for those that don't have that luxury, having WSL2 is kind of a lifesaver for them. How do you manage your personal life while learning tech stuff? I need help. Uh, yeah, work-life balance is, I'm not the best guy to ask. There's been times where um I've spent way too much time. I don't have a great balance, but I just try and find something that energizes me and go for it. Something I love, go for it, you know? That's the thing. Too many people are afraid to fail. And I always say this, and if you ask any of my kids, what piece of advice do I always give? And it's always just one thing. You have to fail before you succeed. So when it comes to learning anything, it's all about failure, not success, but failure. And to do that, you need to have your own home lab, you have your own computer, something that you can actually fail on. Don't do it in production. Although there's been some learning experiences I've had in production. Sad to say. Not proud of it, though. Not proud of that at all. And, oh, you know what? I just realized we probably get a little reverb. I have my overhead on, which isn't good. Oh, hey, I'm streaming, bud. Yeah. Oh, okay. What happened to the Minecraft? Oh, you know what? Let me show you guys. This is probably not the place to do it because I don't know how many. There's probably only like 50 people or something. So here, I'll show it. Why not? Why not just show you guys what I did? Sometimes to spend time, this was a fun one that, me and my kids jump on every once in a while. But I wanted to create like the ultimate Minecraft server. And what I did was kind of create my own server system and set it all up to kind of have fun with me and the kids, and also have some people in. I think I did it on like a Twitch stream about a month back, so there's not very many people on this server. And I'll show you guys the rice after this. And I built this entire server. I think this one's based on, I want to say Ubuntu 20, but none of the servers, like mine OS is like Ubuntu 16, and most of the scripts I looked on GitHub were pretty terrible, so I just decided to create my own thing. And I created like this and made like an entry area, a little pirate ship, and some other stuff for some quests. And then just started building this out. So yeah, check it out, minecraft.christitus.com. It has like server stats where you can see, what do we have? We only have like 5 people on here. But you can see any awards, that type of thing. I have a lot of anti-hack tools on there as well. And then you got a different mapping device, so where you can actually zoom in and kind of see different structures and where people are. It's kind of neat. So I decided to go blue map instead of dynamap. Gives a little more explorability. I think it's a pretty small server though. I think only, I want to say 20,000 chunks by 20,000 chunks, something, or 20,000 by 20,000, something like that. But yeah, check it out if you're interested in the Minecraft thing. And as far as the mine OS, one second, I'm going to check out with the super chats. Thanks for the super chats, John and Elijah. Can you check your email? Yeah, I'll check it, John. Give me a second. Elijah, would you be willing to do some videos on careers in Linux and IT in general? I'm a community. Yeah, man, I'll do a video. Actually, I did a video a while back because my main thing is system admin, mainly Windows servers. I'm going to send you a link real fast. IT career questions, I think it was. I did one a while back, and I just sent it to the guy. Zach King, I think it was. But I think he wanted to collab and stuff, so I went ahead and here we go. This is a little bit old one, but a fun one. I was a guest host, and this is a while back. What was that? Oh gosh, 2019. But yeah, check it out. I actually go over system admin work. So if you're interested in that, that's just a video on becoming a system admin that I did for another channel. I was just guest hosting. I think Zach was having a little hard time, and I was like, hey man, I'll jam out a video for you talking about system administrator work, which was kind of fun. And oh, let me check my Oh, let's just check that. I'm gonna see right here. I should have got my YouTube chat. For the 4 o'clock live stream, I'm gonna have YouTube chat in here. But for now, you just gotta stare at my ugly mug. Yeah. And pull up my email. Here we go. Can't find a link for Windows debloat download. Oh, okay. Yeah, John, I'll do that. That was a script I wrote on GitHub. I have a lot of fun scripts that. Oh man, 1 second. Old GitHub, sign me out. Almost there, guys. All right, there we go. All right, I'm up to almost 50-something repositories, but my biggest repository is probably this one. It's got about a little over 1,000 stars. But this is the Windows 10 script, and here's the link to it. Here's my website link to it. Website. We'll reject that. Man. Just everything's blowing up over here. I'm still working my day job, so I still get calls every now and again. I have too many screens. That's where I stream at. This is where I have a lot of my editing I'm doing. And then I have these 2 screens, which is just kind of like my playground where I work on. And I've been slowly selling off most of my stuff. I'm down to 3 computers, which is nice. And that's including the Mac Mini, which is just a little tiny dinky computer. And then GitHub. All right. That should get you the debloat script, John. Thanks for the question in the super chat. Do you like RSS? I don't really use RSS very much. I used to be into it. I really into the reader that was back in the day. Exponology. Yeah, Exponology is a really interesting one. Most people will really love this project. I think Exponology, if I'm mistaken, that's Synology's. It's Synology. It's not sanctioned by Synology, but it's a fork of Synology that you can put on any machine. Exponology. Yeah, check this out. This is a fun little deal. Exponology.org. I'll put that in chat. This one, you can see all kinds of stuff. Run a Synology on non-Synology hardware. So it's kind of neat. I haven't ever used it. I don't necessarily sanction this, but at the same time, for those that just kind of want to hack around and like learn about Synology and SPKs and how Synology sets up their boxes, it's a really neat open source project. Most simple way to install Arch. Coffee Guy, I did a video on that. When it comes to Arch, I'll link it in chat here. I use Archfi, but Arch is installing a package. I actually did an install live not too long ago. Arch install live. This is only an 18-minute video, but it kind of goes over Archfi. Check it out. It was a fun one. I love doing that one. Have you ever been asked to fix a computer for a friend or someone and have found stuff that you wish you hadn't? All the time, man. I was doing a lot of data recovery, and I always preface it because I've seen stuff I really wish I hadn't, especially from coworkers, because I'm really good at recovering data. And someone had a camera, and they're like, "Hey, I deleted my pictures off my phone." And I recovered the data. This is probably 15 years ago. And I was like, oh boy. A lot of people don't realize when I go to recover data off a phone or an SD card or whatever it might be, it grabs even those pictures that you were just like, haha, snap. Nope, that was bad. Delete. Even those pictures, it will pull back. That's not a lost photo. So anytime I ever data recover someone's phone or an SD card, I always tell them front. I'm like, hey, I'm going to recover every photo you've ever taken on this, probably. That includes the quick little haha snap photos and then you delete, and videos as well. So I always try and preface that to try and stave that off. Fun fact, after I started doing that disclaimer, I usually get about 75% of people, probably something in there, probably 3 out of 4 people say, never mind. So I don't know what these people are doing with their phones, but they probably shouldn't be doing that. Oh, yes, the rice. I always get lost. Let me go to GitHub. I'm going to show you guys this month's rice, something I've been working on. I think it's in my star items here. All right, don't spam chat there, Steel. I got your question. Why is Linux so slow while having... don't spam. It's gone. You spam too much. You're done. All right. Yes, here it is. Found it. Let's do desktop. Check this out. This is probably one of the coolest rices. And let me see. I think I can just do a zoom out here. There we go. So this is a rice. This is based on Qtile. You can see all the workspaces up here, a really clean aesthetic. You got the nice little taskbar right here. You have all your task tray, volume, Wi-Fi, calendaring. Oh, just so many awesome little things. Notification center, very clean terminal using a Lillicree. I may modify some of this as I tried a Lillicree and I wasn't a big fan. I was running into problems when I was SSHing into a bunch of servers with the Lillicree and it was messing up my formatting. So as many people, like it's probably the most popular terminal emulator among Rising and almost every Linux creator out there. But for me, I still don't like it because I SSH in a ton of servers and it just doesn't do a very good job when I'm in and I'm doing formatting on maybe a server box. I don't know. Might be something I'm doing too in my, I want to say I was editing, it wasn't a JSON file, but the actual config file for Lillicree, and maybe there's something in there that messed it up. But this is just such a really, really cool rice. One that I really want to do because of how clean it looks. And I think it's one of the highest or the highest rated ricing ever done on that subreddit. What path would you recommend starting for a web developer? Oh, I don't know on that. You might actually ask Gardner Bryant, the Linux Gamer. He does a lot of web development. He would know far more than I would in that regard. I've done like DevOps and stuff and interoperability between developers, but I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. I'm just the guy that puts together systems for folks that do that for the most part. Oh, make your own OS name. Funny you should say that, Tush. I do have the Titus Pi OS where I did that video. If you guys are interested in it, it's a fun one. I was actually playing Call of Duty Warfare on a Titus Pi, which Titus Pi. Yeah, I think this is it. I thought there was. I think this source. I need to update this project. It's been a little bit. Oh, yeah. I haven't updated the project. I do have a good video on it, though. Let me just pop over to videos and share that. For those that want to know about Titus Pi, it's a fun one. And honestly, if you're learning Linux, I think doing Raspberry Pi is amazing. You should definitely check it out. Here's Titus Pie video. But yeah, you can see me play, I think, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Or actually, no, I was playing Warzone in that one. And that was a fun one. And yeah, it's a great time. Thanks for the super chat, H Metal. Would you ever do an entire series of vids on how to make your videos and how to make money on YouTube and Patreon, etc.? Oh, I can't do it on this channel. And I already kind of go all over the place on here because I'll talk about a little bit of everything. I'll do Linux, Windows, even crypto every once in a while. But I really I've done a couple YouTube videos on how to do things and made and tried to share as much info, but it's such a different niche that it just doesn't do well for the channel and kind of hurts it. So that's why I really don't tackle that subject anymore. As far as like doing like a course of that, I think almost every YouTuber in existence has their own YouTube How to Succeed on YouTube course. And I'm not going to do that. I feel like it's been done to death and almost feels like a cash grab for many people. Then again, I haven't bought any of those courses. Because I think you should learn it on your own in a lot of ways, or just kind of see things. However, I would say if you're interested in it, there's a lot of people that do have good stuff. I remember in the early days watching, I think Roberto Blake has a little bit. Think Media had some video influencers. I think there was one, Sunny Lizarnati, or I'm butchering her last name, but she did some. There's some YouTube channels that tell you pretty much how to succeed on YouTube. I would say don't buy the course on any of those other people's how to succeed on YouTube. Just watch all these other specific channels on YouTube on how to succeed, because that's kind of what I did. I just was like, oh, okay, well, Sean Cannell, which is part of Think Media, he goes into how to break it down for SEO and all kinds of cool stuff. And I think having like this mixture of YouTube creators and the things they do is how you succeed, and you don't need to spend any money, because that's one thing I think you never should spend money until you start making money. Yeah, that's one thing that I try to do. Have you found YouTube tiring sometimes? It just depends. Sometimes I make content that's just a little bit everywhere, and it's a little bit of a variety type thing, to where a lot of times I'll make a video just because I want to make that video. And that's important to do. Sometimes you got to just make what you want to make, but realize what works for you and be scheduling that out. And you should do that. But as far as tiring or jobs, man, I've had a lot of crappy jobs in my day. I'm going to tell you right now, YouTube is amazing. If you can do it as a job, do it. It's freeing. You got a lot of time. I can spend more time with my family instead of being stuck at a data center somewhere. Hell, you're never going to hear me complain about it, because frankly, it's better than any 9-to-5 I've ever had. And yeah, every job, I always say this, and it holds so true. Every single job, you got to shovel a little shit. And that's just facts. There's no perfect job. There's nothing that you're like, oh, this is my dream. This is exactly what I was meant to do all the time. Sometimes you're going to be like, oh, this sucks. All right, let's put our head down, get after it. And that's what you got to do. Thanks for the super chat, Dev. Can you please show how to set up an open and use OpenVPN? Would be gracious for beginners in cybersec. Yes, I've actually made a video about OpenVPN. Love OpenVPN. It's one of the tried and true VPNs, one that I still set up today. Let me pull up that. I'll get you the video link, so you can, if you're interested in that, you'll be able to do it, man. It's a fun one. All right, let me pull it up. We'll do videos again, and then I want to say VPN. I'm almost up to 700 videos now, or 600, something like that. Which one? Set up your own VPN. This is it. OpenVPN setup guide. OpenVPN setup guide. And that's one thing I love about doing this, is having just this like library of things. Like when someone asks a question, I'm like, oh, I don't even need to answer that question. Here's a video. and, and that's one thing I love about just trying to think of stuff when I'm thinking of topics instead of just repeating the same thing over and over, which I just drives me crazy when some people have, I think, shallow channels where they only can talk about one thing. And I just love building out this giant library of stuff to where you can just learn anything. And then I'm just like, oh, yeah, I know that. And then I'm like, have I done a video on it? If I hadn't, I try and do a video, which is fun. Have you considered doing videos such as home automation and IoT? Yes. Yet another guy. Speaking of that, rounding out that library, I haven't done this, but you guys got to check out. You got to check out this. It's super cool. If you guys are interested in doing home automation, one, as much as this is kind of being hypocritical, I'm just going to be forward with you. I'm using Alexa here, and I have a Google Home somewhere in the house as well, which is pretty much just inviting spyware. I even made a video on 5 things you should never own. Well, I own most of those things. But if I had to do it all over again, this is what's up. No. OpenHab. OpenHab, I think it's what it is. OpenHab. Yeah, empowering the smart home. Completely open source. None of that spyware crap. Check out this. Home automation. And this is such a cool project. And I need to do a video on it. I just haven't. I never have time, but I haven't made time for this one yet. And yeah, definitely something really cool. It's all free too. There's no paid product. It's open source, and it's just neat. Definitely, it's something I really want to dive into. I just, again, haven't had the time. Oh, I haven't tried Home Assistant either. Is that another open source project? Let me try that out. Home Assistant. Ah, okay. HomeAssistant.io. Okay, that's another one. I haven't tried this one, but yeah, that's Home Assistant. Ah, thanks for the super chat, Reboot. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'm trying to. It's easier on Twitch, man. We usually have like 40 people over there, so it's like, oh, there's a big bright banner. I can read that question. Oh man. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything? I think I saw a question in here. Question. Why is my main YouTube account channel blocked on your channel, so I have to use the second one? I have to upload videos in Slovenian. I'm not sure on that, Big Pod. Might have made a mean comment or something. If you make like a trash comment, I usually just boop, and then I don't even think second about it. So it just depends on the person and what comments that are left. If you leave something nasty that doesn't, I don't mind critiques, but if it's just straight up just mean and hateful for no reason, I just ban. I don't even think second about it. I get so many comments, about comment every 2 minutes, I think, something like that. And there probably was something bad in there, and boom, that happens. Or it could have just been a misclick too. It happens. I just try and get through as much as I can. I allocate 1 hour after video's released, and then just power through as many comments as I can and answer and try and do as you just do your best. Nothing bad. It's not like I go out of my way to ban someone. Do you use grub themes? Oh yeah, Tech. Check this out. Let's show you the grub theme. Let's just do a little reboot here. What text editor do I use? Vim. Vim, of course. I'm elitist now. I use Vim. How do you earn money? I still have a main day job, so I probably could quit that day job, but I still love going in, and it gives some. I still love what I do when it comes to IT, and that's the thing. I do love IT. Oh, someone followed me over on Twitch. Hey, if you haven't followed me over on Twitch, hit me up. Here's my Twitch channel too. Oh, nope. Oh, that's right. I'm rebooting. Here's my little grub theme. I think this one is It's in my top 5 bootloaders that is installed. Someone actually went and rewrote that entire project, which is pretty cool. So I went ahead and made that commit because I thought they did a better job than me. And I committed that top 5 bootloader. So that's a little different now with a little bit better selection. All right, let's go Arch Linux on this one. Let's boot into some Arch, right? We started this out with Windows. Let's see what's on Arch. And there's the Qtile. I'm still working on that. We're going to be doing that video soon. And now. Oh, yeah. Here's my Twitch channel, too. CyberRE. That's it. Yeah. Hell yeah, Tech. Send it to my email, man. Some emails... I get about 300 emails a day, so it just depends on the email. If you do send me an email, try and be brief, because there's a better chance I can actually get to it. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Joseph. For Steam Proton games, any suggestions on tweaks? I do everything on your gaming page, but Horizon Zero Dawn plays poorly. Ooh, what kind of card do you have, Joseph? Boom. No. Not C Matrix. Lame. Fish? Fish is better. I like fish. We're going to go fish with me in the small corner. Qtile or KDE? Both? Why not try both? See which one you like. Oh, let's see. Will you make videos about free DNS services? I really like Pi-hole. I think Pi-hole does a great job. Craft Computing actually did a fantastic video on Pi-hole, how to set up a DNS server that is not just forwarding out all the DNS traffic. That's a really good one. I highly recommend you check it out. Check out Craft Computing and look up Pi-hole or Open. Yeah, no, it's Pi-hole. He did it under that. I think he did via a Docker container. I could be wrong. I do my Pi-hole through a Docker container as well. What Linux distro has the best community in your opinion? I would say Linux Mint. Linux Mint's the most beginner friendly and probably one of the best. Best server monitoring tool? Oh man, okay. For any IT people in the audience, I apologize as I'm about to recommend this. Don't judge me, but it is my favorite, and people are going to cringe so hard if you know this tool. It's a fun one, though. Nagios. I know some people call it Nagios, but I always like saying Nagios. It just rolls off the tongue. So much better. This is all free. I guess it has a paid version, but don't do the paid version. Just go to downloads and don't do XI. I think there's a community version in here. Or did they get rid of it? No, it's been a while since they set this up. Community version. But I love this because anyone can do it. Where is it? Core. Yeah, download Nagios Core, and then you get all these plugins that come with it. The syntax is maddening when you first learn it, but there's a huge community of front ends and add-ons that are just so much fun. Oh my word. Also, I probably would recommend NRPE instead of the other one. I want to say I was using NRPE, although I don't think this is Windows. I can't remember. But yeah, I think I was using NRPE for most of that. I don't think I was using NCPA. Fun, though. Really, really fun. Love it. And I'm going to actually pull up my super chat just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I apologize. What are your thoughts towards Garuda Linux? Oh, yeah, Garuda is awesome. Linux distro done right is what Garuda is. I always criticize most Linux distros because they're so ugly out of the box. And I'm like, Garuda actually listened and said, hey, let's just make this look beautiful. Let's rice the desktop right out of the gate so it looks awesome. And that's what they did. And they killed, man. I love Garuda. Fantastic. I don't use them, but I love what they did. And I can appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat there. Hey, Uniford Hale. Do you still mine Bitcoins and other coins? Yeah, so I do some mining. Oh, let's see. Can I pull up my mining deal? Yeah, I think we can do something here. I think I have something. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up. I have a little mining rig on my phone. I wonder if I can pull it up on my computer. Maybe not. Oh, we'll see. Might be a little bit on that. I could see myself just messing that up. Nagios and Check MX are the same. I don't think I've used Check MK, but I have used that. But yes, I am mining some coins, using some cards, but I'm about to shut all that down. And yeah, it's should be pretty good. Right now, I think it's, I don't have like a huge mining stash of stuff. I think maybe $10 a day or something. As I think all that should be going away soon, and graphics cards should finally come back in stock. I really hope, because I really hate the current predicament of having no graphics cards anywhere to be found, which really sucks. Thanks for the super chat, Chris. Mint Switch user to go from admin account to standard account seems to crash my display. Control Alt Escape gets it working again. Any thoughts? Huh. What are you trying to do to go to the admin account? Or, Usually I just stay in a standard account and then I just sudo into whatever command I need from terminal. But I don't have any thoughts specifically on that. Or maybe your displays are set up differently. Maybe there's a different refresh rate. A lot of desktop environments, I really hate how they set up the displays in Linux. Specifically, let me go to the desktop here. So right here, I don't have anything to actually set up my display. However, I have two screens. I have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So how do I set up my display? And usually what I do is do an arandar, set up these, and then I usually export this. We'll just do a layout, save as, and then just save it as whatever, example on .screen layout. So then if we pull up our terminal, we go into screen layout, do a listing, cat, example. You can see what all's happening here. This just kind of gives you what kind of layout you want. But then if you go into etc x11, this don't work. This does not work on Wayland. But I usually set up something in here, and I usually have a monitors conf. And what I do is I set up everything baked into my Xorg. So as soon as my displays come on, I never configure them because Xorg and X11 sets them in there for me. I first do the cat of arandar to see where all the layouts are. And then I look at the actual comp file in X11 and then hard code everything in. So I doesn't matter what I go to. I could go KDE, I could go GNOME, I could go wherever I want. And I never set up any of my displays because everything's already hard coded in. I just got to make sure I'm not using Wayland. But a fun little deal. Reboot Linux. I have a question. How do you get so comfortable in front of the camera or even be social in general? I can't even be comfortable in a small group when I need to give permission. Practice. I am, so... You're going to love this, Reboot. I am terrible around people. I mean, I'm not terrible, but I'm not great. Let's just say you put me in a room of people, and I'm going to pretty much hide. I don't really like to be out talking to too many people. As far as the camera thing, I think there's some correlation between being in a room of people and camera, but I will say this. Practice makes perfect, and it's a skill. You know, it's not something you're born with. It's a skill that you develop. One thing I think almost every YouTuber or person that speaks in public or whatever it might be, learn public speaking. If you can learn public speaking, you're going to go far. It's just a great talent to cultivate in your life. And if you're going to be anywhere in public, or you're going to speaking in public in front of anybody, or just doing YouTube, public speaking is probably the absolute best thing you can do to invest in yourself. I was using tons of filler words, the ands and ums and ahs, and I still do not a great job with eye contact. I still look up at the ceiling or over here, even though there's nothing. I don't have a teleprompter or anything. I always just kind of wing it when I'm on my videos or live streams. And public speaking, that's really the best thing. It's something I've been working on. I'll watch public speaking YouTube videos, those types of things, to try and help with that. And it also helps a hell of a lot with the edit process. So when I go to edit a video, I'm like, oh, cool, I did it in one take. And I don't have to sit there and chop up and edit my videos for 8 hours, because I already learned how to speak properly in front of the camera, and then it just makes my life so much easier. Hopefully that helps with the reply. But thanks for the question. Yeah, public speaking, and I think Warren Buffett said it as well. So don't just take it from me. Warren Buffett said the best thing he ever learned was, I think, like a Carnegie course back in like the 60s or 70s, where he learned public speaking. He said that was the best skill he ever learned. So anybody in the audience that is not comfortable in a group of people, or you're just really socially awkward like me, public speaking, learn it, and then actually practice the public speaking while you're having conversations with people. It's a fun thing to do. And people might think you're a little weird, but people already think I'm super strange anyways. So I just kind of, who gives an F? Let's do this. And that's why I do most of that stuff. How come you never do any giveaways like other tech vloggers? I don't believe in giveaways. I just don't really do it. And I don't ever get any hardware from people. I think the only hardware I've gotten on the channel was my Synology box, which I'm using, and some odds and ends things. I think I got like a projector once I did a review on. It sucked. I wouldn't want to give that away to anybody. And I don't really have anything as far as hardware goes. Like, for instance, most of my giveaways would be lame. But let's just do a NeoFetch just to show. This is my best computer I have. I'm running a 2060 with a 5600. This is the best I can do with 16 gigs of RAM. Not exactly something to cry home for, but it works for me. You know, it's a practical system set up, and I actually like making videos and stuff on this because it's what most people would be looking for in the audience, or that type of thing. So that's why I really don't give giveaways. One, I don't have really a whole bunch of extra equipment to give away, but also two, I don't necessarily think giveaways are a good thing. It kind of attracts I imagine, a bad thing. I think many YouTube folks I've talked to that have done giveaways had a pretty negative experience with it. So twofold. Even if I was getting the product, I probably still wouldn't do a giveaway. But, you know, that's where I stand on it. How about Suckless suite of software tools? Thoughts? Suckless is amazing. Thanks for the super chat too, Martin. I think I've used some Suckless tools, but I just haven't had the time to dive in. I think it's suckless.org, but yeah. Yeah, DWM. Oh, yeah. I did a live stream where I was trying out DWM, and I didn't give it enough time. I needed to do a deeper dive, and on a live stream, it was kind of hard to really learn and absorb DWM. But DWM is amazing. ST, Simple Terminal, I'm not a big fan. I really like my Terminator and some other things. But, you know, to each his own. I think it's amazing. Simple web browser. Yeah. Suckless is cool, though.
Definitely a fun learning ground for many folks. D menu, yeah. D menu is widely used in almost every tiling window manager. Why do you like Google? I don't know if I like them, but I don't hate them either. Google serves its purpose, but I do want to try and give people options as far as getting away from Google. I know some people would say I hate Google because of some of the things I do and show, like, hey, you want to diversify off of big tech. And I think that's important. So illustrate that. Check this out. I haven't really shown anything, but this is a good one. You guys will like this. Let's come back over to here. I got this in. This is from Germany. Um, for those that don't speak German, I don't know what that means, but it's a Vola phone. It's has Ubuntu Touch on it, and I think Vola OS. I'm gonna do a video on this one. I have it up right here, and it's pretty neat, man. Like, you got all the different apps. It's actually pretty responsive too. Most of the things with like Pine Phone and also Librem 5. I haven't actually got my hands on a Librem 5, but this was kind of like an interesting one where I was like, oh, okay. Ah, it's one of it's meant with modern technology, and the battery actually lasts longer than a day, and it's something that I'm going to try again. But I really enjoyed the responsiveness of this. This is actually going to be probably the first one I'm going to do. Video coming soon on this one, but something I'm kind of tinkering around with to try and get away from Google, at least downsize Google's presence. I don't think you really can ever get away, but it's worth trying. Some said Brave is compromised. What's your opinion? I've never had a problem with Brave. I think Brave's had some pretty shady practices in the past where I don't necessarily agree with them. Specifically, the referral problems they had where they were referring people that would go to like Binance. I know Binance was doing like a referral program. And if you just type Binance into Google and click on the link, Brave would change that link to include their referral code so they would get money. That's pretty shady, but to the end user, it really doesn't mean anything. But it still doesn't make it any less shady. Doesn't really hurt anybody, but at the same time, it's still pretty messed up. And then I think the whole stigma around cryptocurrency and the BAT token, basic attention token with Brave, a lot of people look down on that. I always love that. I still get, I think, probably about $50 a month from Brave users that just donate to me when they're on YouTube or my website. And I think that's pretty cool. Ah, there we go. Oh, sweet, Tech. I'll check it out. Have you played Valorant yet? No, I have not. I need to though. Do you read messages that comes to you on LinkedIn? Akram, I'm sorry, but LinkedIn, I think last time I logged in, I had like 150 messages. So I get kind of bombarded on LinkedIn, and it's kind of a hard thing to me to engage on. I probably should do better on LinkedIn. I probably should be on like doing better on Instagram. I hate Facebook. I'm just like never going to do Facebook. I think I have an account just so nobody steals my name, but I think that's about it. And yeah, I'm not very good with a lot of social media to tell you the truth. Do you hire out any small consulting jobs? I do not. Right now, I still work my day job and do this YouTube stuff and then live stream and other things over on Twitch, which is fun, but I nothing too crazy. I spend my days not totally overwhelmed, but I usually have enough work to where I can't really take on any more work. Maybe if I drop my day job, I'll eventually change that, but as of today, nothing. Uh, I just don't have any time to do consulting work or anything else. I'd love to, but I just haven't. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Nathan. Much appreciated. Thanks for the help in taking the initial dive into Linux. Ah, that's good to hear, man. Good to hear. I always love someone jumping in and learning something new. It's amazing. What Linux distro was on your screenshot earlier? This one? This was actually Titus Pi. Or no, this wasn't Titus Pi. This was um Titus Awesome. I'll link it in chat for you. Let's go. What is it? GitHub. The old Gits of the hub. Titus Awesome. Yeah, this is the theme I'm using right here. It's a pretty minimal theme. I've actually modified this from El Gringo's, Papa El Gringo's design. I removed like the sidebar and made things a little bit smaller because I wanted a little more screen real estate. But that's the theme I'm using right now on this one. Vega 56 HZD works well in Windows, however. I have a Vega 64 inside that I've been using for a long time. Love it. It's great. Great card. I love the Vega series. Even though I know they get kind of panned on Windows, it's been great for Linux. Yeah, I have another Windows optimization guide coming out. I've been working on redoing that Git project. On the next update, which I should be doing in a couple weeks, that whole Git or Windows 10 script, I'm going to be removing antivirus, where I used to be able to strip out or disable Windows Defender. I'm actually taking that option out. So many viruses flagged my script as malicious because it would disable, or it could disable, Windows Defender if you click the low security option. So I'm actually going to be taking that away from the script, but I will be adding like a restore tab as well to restore things. If you don't like what the script does, you just go over to the restore tab, click the same button, and then everything's back to how it was. So I'm going to be making some things like that so you can easily get in and out, and then also removing some of the security issues that some antiviruses have problems with, and then probably give some workarounds if you wanted to go there, maybe give you like a reference point to how to disable that type stuff. Is there any way to RDP or TeamViewer into current Linux desktop and not a new one? Well, you could use TeamViewer. It does the current Linux desktop. You can also use free RDP. I haven't really used that too much. Probably the easiest for a newbie to Linux is No Machine. No Machine does a great job of actually remotely controlling the desktop. Is there an easy, seamless way to back up settings on Windows 10? Probably doing an image is the best way to approach Windows 10. I did Synology backup, which is pretty good. Or you could do an image using CloneZilla, which I have that video here. I'll link it in chat as well. This one's a really, really solid video for a free software. It's just not, it's a little cumbersome, CloneZilla is, but I still like it. It's still a very solid video. So let's just go CloneZilla. Oh, no, let's just try clone. Yeah, here you go. Clone any system. So I would just clone the system and then you can back up. You can do this on Linux as well. Windows, doesn't matter. Clone any system. But it's a good video on that. And then I also did how I back up my systems. I use something called Synology backup, which is right here. That's a recent one. It's pretty darn simple. It's probably the easy way of doing it. But then, again, you got to buy the hardware. Or use like Exponology on some, hardware agnostic type thing. So a couple options for you. Android emulator is better on virtual machine for running APK. I like virtual machine better. Many of the Android emulators like BlueStacks and I think what Vox or something. I can't remember the actual name of it. Or Nox. It's something like that. Most of them are chock full of spyware and malicious software. So be very cautious with Android emulators. I highly recommend just staying away from them altogether. And yeah, that was amazing. That wasn't in answer to your question about the card of why. Oh, thanks, Joseph. uh, what do you think of the future of Macs or gaming on? Oh man. So when it comes to Mac, I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of Macs. I never have been a fan of Macs. However, I do edit on a Mac Mini, and that was a pretty darn good value for me. I really enjoy Final Cut Pro for editing. It is a fantastic editor. I can do all kinds of just crazy things that I never had the ability to do before, and it's very simple. So I really enjoy the editing portion of it. However, the operating system itself, I hate Mac. It's very, very limited. You're in this really closed ecosystem, and it has a lot of problems for that. With that said, for some users, Mac just makes sense because it's just like your iPhone. It really hadn't changed in 10 years, and anybody pretty much can navigate and get around a Mac easily. So it's not to say there's not users out there that Mac isn't right for. It just depends on what you're doing. Me personally, it I really enjoy Linux for my productivity, my day-to-day use, browsing the web, whatever it might be. I like to be in Linux. If I'm gaming, I'm usually in Windows because that's where most of the games are. And then if I'm doing video editing, I'm usually on my Mac. So I actually do use all three systems. It's just each one has its strengths and weaknesses. Do you ever have a plan to come to India? Maybe. I love it. I love it. I always wanted to travel. As my kids get older, I know me and my wife will definitely be traveling more once my daughter hits 18. My son's about to turn 18, so not too far away. We'll see how it goes. Why do so many people have C Matrix running in the background? Nathan, that ain't C Matrix, bro. That is X screensaver. Let me show you something even better than that, Nathan. I'm about to blow your mind. All right, so look at the background. You can kind of see how that is? Here's what C Matrix looks like. C Matrix is just a plane falling down. That is a 3D effect by X Screensaver. So let's pull up X Screensaver. Yeah, let's go ahead and launch it now. Okay. And then there's some really cool stuff. So I'm actually using Matrix. Where is it? Matrix. Where are you at? Oh, do I not have it on this machine? It's a variation. But this one's pretty cool too. I should probably change it to this. Yeah, buddy. I'm a hacker. Check out, I'm hacking the Gibson right now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the preview went off. There it goes. There's a little bit more. I think it shows a file tree. Is it going to make it on the preview? Oh, maybe not. Oh, come on. Oh, well. Fun. But fun. Yeah, check it out. It's a fun one. If you don't want to be like everybody else and do C Matrix, you can do that, but that's not C Matrix. Oh, screen tear, yeah. This is a little bit on Arch. I got to work on my NVIDIA drivers. I do have quite a bit of screen tearing. Use VSync, yes. I'm going to get on it. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off today. We've been going for about an hour and 15. I will be back on 4 o'clock today. I wanted to hit both time zones. Some people said, hey, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock work better for them. That's why I jumped on right now. I'll jump back on at 4. We'll do a session 2. If you want to jump on and if it works for you, cool. If not, don't worry about it. It's going to be just another Q&A like this one. Thank you guys all for the congrats. Couldn't have done it without everyone giving feedback. I absolutely love doing this and the fact you guys watch videos and give me all the things I could, as far as that feedback and making great videos is what I'm just so passionate about. I love that. I know sometimes I go a little off the wall and switch topics and kind of go a little bit all over the place, but just know I kind of do that for my own sanity. So I'm not just remaking the same video over and over and slowly going mad. I like to just kind of bounce around a bit. And that's sometimes why some of my videos seem a little random. But just know, hey, I always hit up all the normal ones, and I'm always working hard to try and make better videos. But thank you so much for popping in, saying hi, asking questions. I always love this, and just the interaction I get with live streams. If I could just live stream all day, every day, and make enough money to support my family, I probably would do that, because live streaming is amazing. I love it. But with that, guys, I'll see you all later. Again, I'll try and jump back on at 4, and yeah. And if not, watch my video tomorrow. I do have a fun video. It is, oh, what was it? It was something fun. Oh yeah. iSCSI. I was working on a networking tweak in Windows. It's called IRP stack size. I wanted to show the before and after and do some benchmarking with improving some more network settings in Windows. So I tweaked IRP stack size, kind of a fun little benchmarking video on just an obscure tweak to Windows. So that's tomorrow's video. Check it out. Should be premiering at about 9:15 Central Time. And with that, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. And this is a blast. I'm going to definitely get on YouTube, be streaming at least once a month on YouTube. And if you want to check these streams and be a little more low-key, I do jump over on Twitch and stream about once a week on Friday. Usually only like 50 people jump in there, so it's pretty relaxed, where YouTube is just scrolling. And if I missed your question today, I apologize. I try to get as many questions answered as I can, but you know, I get ADD and I miss a lot. So I apologize ahead of time for that. And with that, guys, I'll see you all in the next one.